Making your way through work Monday takes everything you got. Then Monday night rolls around and you realize there's a shot. You're only 10 points away. All those times when your team had no fight, they're just so gosh darn frail. Then your star quarterback let another deep ball sail, and your third round pick bet on his team. Then go check out our streets where everybody knows your pain, and they listen to complaints. You wanna be where you can see our bodies bring you no shame. You wanna go where everybody knows your pain.
Welcome back to Dad Bod Fantasy Squad.
I thought I was expecting a big back because we have both been off since the expo.
Yeah.
So welcome
Actually,
back.
for myself, Robbie, and I think yourself too.
Yeah.
I normally do Thursday. I've been doing 3 shows a week. Thursday, I was like, okay, man, I just need to take a step back. We had a 6-hour episode. I'm a little tired. My back hurts.
Tell me about it.
Monday, some other things came up that I wasn't expecting. And yourself, Robbie, we've been gone, but the expo, amazing.
It was fantastic. I mean, it was something that I'm super happy that we decided to. We were just going to go one day.
Yes.
And then kind of last minute, me and you were like, you know what, man? Let's just get a hotel.
Yeah.
Let's stay Saturday, Sunday. Let's go have some drinks with some people and not have to worry about getting back home. So it was the right move for sure to stay that extra day.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit because Expo was amazing. Highly recommend. I put it in our group chat. There's 6 of us, 7 of us, whatever you want to say. And I said, we have to make it here Friday through Sunday next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite funny because I think, Robbie, maybe a little too personal, I think we do well in an atmosphere where we're allowed to have some booze and, get to talk in that way. You do better than I do if I get to a certain limit. So I should just be, where's the
you get the hiccups.
WrestleMania, like snack me out, dude. Let me go sit down and I'll just drink.
I tried to stab your back a couple times. I mean, I was like, hey, come over here, buddy. We'll talk later. Yeah, dude. It's super fun. It was a blast. Everyone was just there to have a good time. No agenda. There was no like, hey man, can you come on my show? It was none of that. It was just like everybody just kind of wanted
start doing that. Like, come hang out with us.
Dude, it was fun just to like actually even not like we met a bunch of people, but the people that we've been interacting with, it was super cool to just see them in person and like meet them face to face and just like kind of, talk, shoot the shit a little bit. Like it was fun to just get in that atmosphere and meet the people that we've been talking to for the past, 6-7 months.
Yeah, actually, before this, I sent out a tweet. Hutchinson, Hutch is what he's called. 15-year-old, does great work on here. I saw him, didn't interact with him enough on Twitter for me to be like, hey, what's up? Where are this? You got to have some sort of like chemistry on Twitter, some sort of conversation on Twitter. So I was like, I'm going to take it easy on this one, but I know exactly who he was. Put out a tweet, said, hey man, sorry, we didn't get to meet you. Here are some of he was asking for some positive vibes, but like we got to meet our fantasy whispers. Love them.
Yeah. They're
great show.
They're a blast.
Always. We got to meet Coop, came on here. I think
Coop.
We'd be best buddies in person. I don't know if that's true for him. He's probably
fun,
like
man.
These freaking potato bugs won't stop bugging me.
He's a good dude. Coop was fun.
Jay Stein. I mean, like I've chatted with him just in straight DMs. Dennis. I can't think of Dennis's last name, but I know him as culture coach in
Dr.
Columbus
Jesse.
with me. Jesse Morris, which I was a fanboying about, man.
You were fanboying, but it was well worth it.
I like watching his injury analysis, man. It's really funny. He always had some kicks on too. We got to meet a lot of people, man. And like, I know I'm missing a ton of people. Like Steph was there. She was amazing.
Steph, yeah, we had a great talk with Steph. She's a blast. Lauren Carpenter, stepmom Lauren on Twitter.
We met her.
We met her. She's fantastic. She's super fun, super nice. Her and her husband were there. We're missing a ton of people, but it was
Corey Easterday. I think that's his last name, Easterday. Yeah, the list could go on. Like we literally it was a great time. There's a ton of people out there that like, it was awesome, man. It's cool to be like, okay, we're Twitter friends. Now we're real life buddies.
I have one gripe. The only seltzer at this place.
High Noons? No.
Was Topo Chico. I would have went crazy for some High Noons that night. You would have seen me on another level.
Topo Chico does not do the seltzers right, dude.
Dude, it wasn't.
I mean, especially when I saw you get lemon lime, I was like, I remember that flavor.
It's the only one they had.
I like White Claw lemon lime.
Just give me some White Claw. Just give me some White Claw.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
make it nice. I mean, High Noons, I get it because they're super expensive, and like everybody would be blitzed if there were High Noons.
I would have been. I was on Miller. I was on the Miller.
Yeah. If there were High Noons, it would have been pretty wild. It already was pretty wild, so it would have been even crazier. But just give me a nice White Claw, dude. I mean,
I gotta be honest with you, man. I really am kind of counting down days to the next expo. I think there's hopefully talks of a golf scramble.
Yeah.
Hopefully we stay Friday through Sunday. Although Sunday was a little bit tougher for us because we weren't really sure what to expect. So it was a little tougher for us. Not in any indictment on the expo itself. Just we were a little off.
Yeah, I mean,
we didn't have our booze. We didn't have our liquid courage.
Yeah, and like staying up till 3 a.m, getting Taco Bell and drinking in the room until we couldn't anymore. I don't think that helped. But yeah, man, it was fun. I think Bob was great. Bob Long. I mean, we were talking to him. Also, so everybody knows this, there was a quarterback challenge, and I absolutely murdered Mario. So
hey, shout out to House. Shout out to House for catching that on camera. I hate you.
Yeah, we will. You know what? I'll have House send it to me. I'll clip it. I'll put it up. I was on fire. I was tied for third last time I was going in there. So, yeah, I just want to Mario came in talking all this smack.
Wait, no, I didn't. I said I would either be really good or really bad, and I was really bad. No. And I want to say, like, I went for gold, man. I thought that like the points would have came if I went for the 20-yarders or nothing. That was not the case.
Don't let him fool you. He couldn't hit the 10-yarders.
House here. Here you go, Rob. All right. Now that we have that on the screen, we talked about it. So one thing from Dad Bod Squad, which thank you. I'm going to kind of do this within a minute, hopefully. Thank you to everyone. I know that they're likely not watching, but thank you to all our guests. If we could rip them off real quick, Rob, it goes Steph, Ian, Bob Lung, Eric Moody, Dave Kluge, Jeff Bell, Coop, Derek Brown. Am I missing somebody? I feel like I might be.
I thought you had a list, dude.
No, that was just off head, which is more impressive, right?
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's it. Thank you. We loved that show. We loved talking with you guys. We loved interacting. We had so much fun.
We could go.
Rob was
from today.
A week ago from today. Rob was crushing it. By hour 6, he was sleepy-eyed Rob, which if you haven't, go look at his face. It's great. You could probably make memes out of it. It was incredible. We had a ton of fun.
I was shocked.
Rob, you lasted longer than Cody. So,
dude,
peanuts to you.
What I will say, I'll say this: the most impressive thing of the night. What I will say, we did over 6 hours. I did 6 and I left. You stayed on. I don't know what time you guys ended, but the fact that you did not get up once to go to the bathroom is unbelievable to me.
Well, that's a good segue into what we have to get going here. We planned a go-to bathroom time. Not that I haven't seen this already. So we planned a time where we're going to play a clip. Rob Norton, friend of the pod, going to be on here with us during the season. I don't know if that's an announcement or not, but it kind of is.
Let's announce it.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be on here with us, I think, Tuesdays. kicking it probably with you and I, Rob, and we're going to give more news on what that show will consist of. But I was like, okay, 8:00 we'll play this. I'll get to go piss.
Yeah.
Be good there,
Didn't
but
happen.
it just never happened. And I take blame for that. Like, I mean, I just loved having these guys on here that they were all so willing. They were like, yeah, I'll stay on whenever. And it sounded like they were expecting to like be when I was like, okay, we'll keep you 30 minutes then.
Yeah.
We have the time.
So just to kind of give a background of that is we planned out 15-minute segments for every guest that we had on because we didn't want to keep them too long. We want, we know everyone's super busy, especially this time of the year. So especially everyone we got was such like, we didn't anticipate to get the amount of people that we had come in for us and just kind of hop on with us, which was super fun. And we said, hey, all we need is 15 minutes. If you can help us out just a little bit. They all said yes. That 15 minutes quickly went into 30 every single time. And we didn't even, it just happened naturally. Like, I think we just had great conversations going with every one of the guests. It was good. And it just rolled into the next guest. So,
yeah.
Not that there was anything wrong. I mean, it was better than we could have hoped. I think it was it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was definitely better than like my anxiety led on to the whole week before, and
we were stressing, man.
Yeah, we
were stressing.
It was so fun. I want to forever do this. Like, I want to forever do that episode, go straight into the expo, and be like, hey, and you go up to Coop and call him an asshole or something. Like, I want to forever do that. That's cool. That's person to person. I didn't even get to do that in my real life job. So like, it's cool. It's really cool to me. And
it was super fun to roll it into.
Shout out to Bob Lung.
Super fun to roll it into the expo. Like, it was timed perfect. It couldn't have been better. The timing.
Yeah.
It was timed perfectly. Almost everybody was there. We didn't get to see everyone that we wanted to. We missed out on Dave Kluge. We missed out on
one more.
Jeff Bell.
Jeff Bell.
We were looking for him. It just kind of didn't.
I saw Dave.
It didn't time out for us.
I goofed.
I'm disappointed.
I told him. I admitted that to him, though. I said, I saw you, but you looked busy, so I didn't want to say anything. He made eye contact. I made eye contact, but he looked busy, man.
Actively looking for both of them. But it happened.
If this was Saturday night and there was the booze, I would have been all about it. But it was Sunday. Still trying to catch. It was like right when we walked in, I was like, not ready for this, man. And it's like, whatever. All right. So let's get into this. So we have news, but we're not going to jump into that yet. We want to play this clip. It was for our show, for the Dad Bod Squad episode. Honestly, if people wanted to send us these all day and we'd air one per episode before the season, I'd be cool with that too. I don't care who it is. But nonetheless, this was from Rob Norton, friend of the podcast, going to be on here during the season. I wanted to play it for him. He did his Dad Bod Squad. It's about a 5-minute clip.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Rob Norton at Norton0723 on Twitter, and I'm here to give you my Dad Bod Fantasy Squad for 2022. These are the players that I'm definitely always drafting before others do. Starting at quarterback, I have Arizona Cardinals QB, Kyler Murray. He finished as the QB4 in points per game each of the last 2 seasons. However, in the first 10 games of 2020 before he got banged up, he was actually the QB1 in points per game, scoring over 30 a game. The Cardinals have always been one of the fastest paced offenses in the league under Cliff Kingsbury, and we know that more plays equals more opportunities for fantasy points. This year they also reunited him with old college buddy Hollywood Brown, which should only help. Kyler already has a season under his belt of 800 plus rushing yards and might be the only QB with a realistic shot at 4,000 plus passing yards and 800 plus rushing yards in the same season. As the QB 5 or 6 off the board in most drafts and regularly available in the 6th round, Kyler is my QB 2, so he's always the QB I'm drafting before others do. Moving on to running back, I have Jacksonville Jaguars running back Travis Etienne. Etienne is coming off a Linsfranc injury, but that's basically where his red flags end. He's also more than a full year removed from this injury, whereas running back teammate James Robinson is coming off an even more serious Achilles injury that didn't occur until the very end of last season. This sets up Etienne for a chance to carry the load early on in the season and he has the skills to take that job and run with it. We're talking about a truly elite running back prospect with first-round draft capital who profiles as a special player in the passing game. His most common comps are to DeAndre Swift and Alvin Kamara. This year, I'm expecting at least 200 carries, 50-plus catches, 1,300-plus total yards, and at least 7 touchdowns, with upside for much, much more. Moving on to wide receiver, I have Carolina Panthers wide receiver DJ Moore. All DJ Moore has done since entering the league has put up some of the best numbers in the league, especially for his age. Since entering the league in 2019, he's 5th among all players in receiving yards, but his biggest bugaboo has been touchdown scoring. He's only scored 4 touchdowns each of the last 3 seasons, and only 2 in his rookie year. In my opinion, though, that's been a lot more due to the QB play, as he's been saddled with terrible QB play his whole career. I mean, last year alone, Sam Darnold only threw 9 touchdowns. DJ Moore has actually scored 25% of his team's receiving touchdowns in that span, and now that they've upgraded to Baker Mayfield, who's been about average to slightly above average in touchdown percentage, I'm expecting that number to go up. DJ Moore is currently going off the board in the mid to late 3rd round as wide receiver 15. However, I have DJ Moore as a borderline top 10 wide receiver this year, with upside for a lot more. Rounding out my Dad Bod fantasy squad at tight end is Atlanta Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts. There can be an argument to be made that Kyle Pitts is the greatest tight end prospect we've ever seen. Standing at 6'6", 245 pounds, and running a sub 4.5 40, he's similarly athletic to Calvin Johnson, except with tight end eligibility. As a rookie last year, Pitts posted one of the best tight end seasons we've ever seen. He drew 110 targets, caught 68 passes for over 1,000 yards, but was only able to haul in 1 touchdown. Tight ends usually take a few years to make an impact, but Pitts ranked top 5 in multiple countless metrics. In his sophomore season, I'm expecting Pitts to make a jump nearly in every category across the board, especially touchdowns. Right now, Pitts can also be had in the mid to late 3rd round, and this is probably the cheapest we're going to see him for the next 5 years, so go get him now. Anyway, that wraps up my Dad Bod fantasy squad. Make sure you're following me over on Twitter at Norton0723, and make sure you're following the guys at Dad Bod Fantasy Squad on Twitter as well, at DadBodFS, for more great content. Thanks, and take care, everybody.
Yeah. Travis Etienne, baby. It's Etienne.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts, baby.
I am pumped about Etienne.
I am pumped about Kyle Pitts.
You can be pumped about Kyle Pitts all day, but it is nothing.
Yeah. Every 3rd round, if he's available, I'm taking him.
I think we could save that conversation for whenever we get to tight ends.
No, I'm taking him.
I just don't believe it. But, okay, let's hop into news. All right, 18 minutes. We're already hustling through.
Let's get in. Yes.
A-Rod, frustrated with rookies' inconsistencies. I did not see this. I've seen praise to Lazard, but that was older. I've seen praise to Dubs, but that was older.
Came out yesterday. I guess there's been some drops in camp.
Dobbs, not Dubs. Dobbs, damn it.
Dobbs. Yeah, Dobbs. I don't know who it's really referring to, if it's kind of a collective group that he's speaking to. I'm not worried. Are you? Like, there was nothing but rumors coming out of Cincy camp last year. Jamar Chase can't catch a ball. All he's doing is dropping the ball. Like, these kind of reports like this, I feel like it's just kind of clickbaity. The only thing that it's kind of weird is that A-Rod said it himself. So there has to be some merit to it, but I think it's more of him trying to light a fire under the rookies to kind of, okay, we're halfway through, we're getting ready for the season. It's time to go. Get it going. Let's go. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not too concerned. I'm still high on Dobbs. Watson, I want to be high on, but that
That's what I'm
injury,
saying.
man, that injury, it sucks.
I'm all out of and I'm not gonna go crazy with Dobbs. I really am not, because I've been a Lazard believer. I'm gonna hold on to my Lazard belief.
Yeah. He's not going to be wide receiver 1 there.
I like the idea of Dobbs. I like where he's going. I don't know what he's going to be going by September. I am all out on Watson. I'm all out on Watson to the point of, this is going to be a gross take. It's going to bite me in the ass. Probably, maybe. I'm out of Watson for Dynasty.
Oh,
I just don't
That's
see
tough.
the longevity there. And it's not as tough as everyone makes it sound, because like, Rodgers has openly came out saying like, yeah, I got 2, 3, maybe more years. Like,
you're
so
too
what's that
low
mean
on
for
Jordan
Watson?
Love.
Okay, so you might be right on that, or if they even go to that. But I'm just saying, like, does Jordan Love make Watson amazing? Like, Watson wasn't some incredible prospect out of college.
I mean, he went super high.
Did he? 30th?
Dude, that's
second round. It was second round. 34th. Yeah, that's not that. After he was what? Wide receiver 8? I know that's wrong, but it's close.
That's fine, but it was an anomaly with this wide receiver class.
Sure.
Like it doesn't happen, dude.
Sure.
Regardless, I understand what you're saying. I'm not out on him on Dynasty. Like, he takes a step back. Look, if anything, right now, with all this hate and everything going on in Green Bay, and kind of the love for him is dissipated, I'm kind of trying to trade for him in Dynasty, because I think you can get him for a bargain.
Probably.
Right?
Maybe. It's like a dart throw, right? It's not, you're not expecting much right now.
Dude, throw a second for him. See if you get it. And if you get it, put him on your taxi, see what happens.
He was going in the second. Why would you want to throw a 2023 second for him?
Dude, I'd rather have a player.
Would you throw a 2023 second for him?
Yeah.
That's gross.
Is it?
Yeah, the 2023 is supposed to be deep. Maybe 2024.
We say this every year. Every year.
Did they say that about 2022? Did they say that about 2022?
Dude, come on.
Regardless.
Right. We're spending too much time on that.
Way better than he was last year in the passing game. In addition to this,
from Billy B.
Second, Rob. Okay, Billy B. Billy
Bill.
Bell. Bell.
And he never talks people up. So yeah.
Also, there were some rumblings that they're looking at maybe trading Damian Harris. Don't know how true it is. Don't know where it's coming from. Like, just some rumblings that Oakland was interested about in Damian Harris, which I think is really interesting for Ramondre. It's a tough backfield to gauge, but like, you would have to feel good about Ramondre's.
Oh yeah.
Season.
Oh yeah. So okay, hypothetically, Mario, if Harris gets traded, I don't care where to.
Where does Ramondre go?
Yeah. Top 12?
No. Oh, no. You're way high.
Top 15?
I'm not saying he can't finish there, so keep that in mind. He doesn't go, and he goes maybe bubble top 24. Maybe. Whoa. Yeah. Where's Damian Harris going right now?
What do you mean?
Why do you expect it to be like grossly higher? There's still a ton of backs in this backfield.
Is there?
There is a shit ton. James White retired. That brought it down from 7 to 6.
Yeah, but who's there?
They got Ty Montgomery, who they love in the passing game. They've been hyping him up. They have JJ, can't think of his, Taylor. James White retired. Damian Harris is currently there. We have Pierre Strong, Abram.
Get out of here, dude. What are you talking about? There's people in the backfield. It would be Ramondre, 3 downs.
You think that, but like, Ramondre was picked in the 4th round too. Like, what's so exciting about him? He looked good. I get it. I'm all about it. I agree. But they just kind of rotating the backfield. I still would buy Ramondre. That's not what I'm saying. But realistically, you're going to go top 15 with that? That's crazy to me. Can he finish there?
That's Probably. What I'm saying. Like, where do you think he finishes? Like, I'm not talking draft capital.
It ranges, though. Like, he would have to score a lot of touchdowns, which is very.
Do you think? Because I think he's going to be a PPR monster.
I don't. I
Okay.
think he catches passes. I think this stat says it. I think he catches passes. But they signed Ty Montgomery. They've hyped up Ty Montgomery. It's going to suck. And we're all going to watch Ty Montgomery on this team. And we're
Until
going to
he
be like,
gets
holy
hurt
shit.
2 games in.
Maybe.
But sure.
Realistic, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon get 50 catches apiece. This was a quote from Aaron Rodgers too, no?
Yes.
Pretty nice.
That ups AJ Dillon's shares to me. I anticipated that for Aaron Jones. Like, I'm not worried about
You
that.
might be right.
I think Aaron Jones, like, realistically is a shot to get 70. AJ Dillon, I did not think he'd be that involved in the pass game. But if he is, that's like, dude, that bumps him up.
Yeah. I don't want to dig too much on that. I think it just bumps AJ Dillon quite a bit. Stafford right on track, and Burrow is ramping up activity. Both QBs are getting ready to go. I still have a little bit more concern about Stafford.
So do
I don't necessarily have any concerns about Burrow's kind of one of those fluke sort of random injuries. Not even an injury, an appendix explosion, ruptured appendix.
Yeah. I'd have to do some
Stafford,
more digging on Stafford because it was what, elbow tendonitis? Is that what it is?
They're hiding something, dude. There is something weird going on. It is elbow tendonitis, or at least that's what we think.
If he's playing
I'm not
week
like
1,
saying I'm out on Stafford. I just don't like. There's some weirdness that they're not telling.
that's fine. But I think, personally, if there was something really something bad going on, they'd go out and get maybe Jimmy G, or they're not going to go into the season with their backup. They're too talented. They're going to go get somebody. Whoever it is, it is what it is. But I think they would have been way more aggressive to get a better backup than what they have currently if they were really worried about Stafford. So, I mean, if his draft capital is slipping because of this injury, dude, it might be nice snagging him in he's going in the 11th round or something, 11th, 12th round. But
I don't think it was necessarily
upside.
Because of injury. Yeah.
Top 5 upside.
It's just because he has no boom. He has no excitement.
Oh, I'm sorry, top 5's not boom. It's not exciting.
Yes.
Okay.
It's available.
Yeah, I'll take him. I'll take him in the 12th.
Right. Well, we don't need to talk about our QBs right now. How about we just... I guess I said that wrong. How about we just get into our final?
How about we talk about the QBs?
Yeah. So let's pull this back up, actually.
What? Okay.
When we did this a couple months ago, month and a half ago, we did our QB rankings. And when whoever was on the episode would talk about their QB rankings, which I think was good. I think that's a good way to go about it. This time around, though, now that we're getting closer to the season, there's 6 of us. We want to kind of put all our brains together, make one mega brain, and give our consensus on our top 12 final rankings of our QBs.
Wasn't that like a cartoon character?
Mega Mind.
Mega Mind.
Yeah. That's what we look like. So we wanted to give our top 12, which are subject to change. Injuries.
I just think of what's that dude's name? Kazoo. What's the dude from the Flintstones?
I don't know. We're getting close to the season. It's August 17th today. So we wanted to make sure we get this information out as quick as possible because I'm sure there's a lot of drafts coming up. Sure, there's this week and next week. I got one next week and not this upcoming one. And then the following. So getting our 12 out there for everyone. It's not going to change too drastically for any of us unless there's an injury. Let's kick it off. All right. The 1-2 punch, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. So when we look at this, we take our consensus, we average them out, and there's clear tiers that have been created. And Josh Allen and Justin Herbert kind of sit in that tier alone. And that's simply the fact of 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, all of us. Mm-hmm. It could be flipped. It could be Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Herbert, Allen. It doesn't matter. It's 1-2, 1-2 across the board. So this is our tier. We're expecting monster years out of both of them.
No doubt.
No doubt. There's not so much to talk about here. We're expecting Josh Allen. One thing that I keep thinking about is Josh Allen going to run a little less. Do you think that's a possibility?
No, I don't. I think it's going to be the same game plan as last year. I really do. And the year before. Like, if anything, we see him get better every single year. So, sure, maybe he'll take a step back a little bit in the run game. I don't see it. But even if he does, I think he's going to take another step forward with his passing to a point where, like, he's there already almost. Like, he's almost as a prolific passer as Patrick Mahomes, as, Russell Wilson. Like, he's in that category. Tom Brady, almost, I think. I
Did
don't
you say he's the GOAT?
No, I'm not. I'm saying his, like,
I know.
how,
I know, listen.
you know what I'm saying, how good of a passer he is. And then just his rushing upside, it catapults him to one. I don't know. I can't justify anybody else bumping him off QB1.
Yeah, so Josh Allen, QB1 the past 2 years. Justin Herbert, QB9 his rookie year, QB2 last season. We're expecting much of the same from last season. Loaded with weapons. Austin Eckler. He's got Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Brian's favorite Josh Palmer. So
That's the thing,
we're expecting
man.
much of the same here as well for Herbert. But
Yeah.
I mean, we have to. There's a couple of us that think he's leapfrogging Allen, and that's with, I don't want to say minimal rushing because there's some. He has some legs, but not as much.
No. Yeah, that's why I can't do it. I can't justify that. One, Josh Allen is going to get the goal line work.
There's only
Like,
2 of us.
Yeah, but I can't
No,
justify
I
it.
was just letting you know. There's only 2 of us that said one.
I understand it, but I can't justify it just because of, and like I said, Josh Allen's going to get the goal line work, which is insane for a quarterback. Now, Herbert, he has weapons galore. Like, there's no question about it. He's in a conference that they're going to have to throw the ball 40 times a game just to win games. They're going to have to win games 40 to
Stop.
35.
You're going to make me switch mine.
No, don't do that. He's going to
He's
put
going to have to
points
throw
up.
a ton.
He's going to put points up. So is Allen. Allen's going to throw a ton too. But
To what, the Jets defense?
that's fair. I mean, it's fair. That's what I'm
To
saying.
Miami's defense?
I understand the. I get it. I get why you'd put
Are you
Herbert.
switching? Are you switching right now?
No, I'm not.
Is that the gears turning?
No. We've talked about, like, the rushing upside. Rushing quarterbacks have such an advantage over non-rushing. It's crazy. Like, the only thing that could derail Herbert and Allen from being, like, the top 2, like, far and away better than everybody, like, up by 50 points, kind of, you know what I'm saying, is an injury to a playmaker. Like, that's it.
Yeah, and truthfully, like, let's not hide the fact that Herbert was a little bit tougher to own last year than Allen.
Yeah.
He won you some games. I think his lowest was probably something like 13. So you weren't having too tough of a time. But there was comparatively speaking, when he would put up 46 and then a 13 ball, it was like a little bit like, oh, what the hell is going on? No,
the thing that makes me even more
great year.
confident in him is that the back half of his season was so insane. It was, I mean, top 5 weeks, quarterback weeks consistently. Like, it was bang, 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 top 5. So back half of the season, he really took a step forward.
I was seeing if I could pull up his weekly finishes here.
I have him right here, Mario.
What?
Need I say more?
Are they on your paper? If they're on
I
your
have
paper,
my
I don't
paper,
wanna hear
baby.
them. No.
So let's go from week.
Oh, yeah. The back 9 was spicy.
Right? So
2,
week
15, 1, 6, 4, 5, 4, 12, 12, 4. Sorry, I just stole your thunder.
You did, dude. This is
It was fast.
This is my paper.
But the beginning of the year, 25, 23, 12, 1, 24.
Yeah.
After the bye week, though, he's.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if he keeps
Katniss
that,
Everdeen.
if he keeps that pace, man, from that back half,
Yes.
yeah.
Tom Brady was one that's on here quite a bit too.
Tommy B. I mean, he finished QB2.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was Herbert.
No,
I think it's Herbert.
I think it was Tom Brady.
I think it was Herbert.
Look it up.
Where's
Dude.
where's our stat guy?
I have it right here.
You have the
Literally.
PFF finishes.
Yeah.
They finished within
Probably like a half point.
9 points, so there could be some differences of points, but it definitely has Herbert on top.
Oh, I got Tom Brady is 2 over here on Fantasy Pros. But it's okay.
That's where I'm on. I'm on Fantasy Pros.
I'm on Fantasy Pros too, man.
No, you're not. You're not. You're lying.
No,
to
you're
me.
right.
See, I knew you were lying. You always know when there's somebody lying. All right, let's move to this next tier.
Let's.
Patty Mahomes at our number 3. So largely going QB2, which is kind of shocking for us. But can I just say that I'm starting to get more and more in, although my rankings don't reflect it. I have him as QB4, so I'm not getting too crazy. But if I love Sky Moore, who else do I gotta love? Patty
Mahomes.
So QB2 is where Patrick Mahomes is going right now. We have him as our consensus 3, as low as QB5, but majority 3 or 4. What are we expecting out of Patty? And in the same, I'll talk about the same tier here in a second, but what are you expecting out of Patty?
Yeah, we know how good he is. We know how good Andy Reid is. I understand he lost Tyreek Hill. I get it. He still has Travis Kelce, man. He's gonna feed the best player.
Travis and Kelce.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna suck a little bit to see. He's not gonna get those, 50-yard bombs downfield to Tyreek. That's not gonna happen.
It's
All
so
right.
true. It is so true, dude.
Thank you, House.
Rob says Allen and talent the same way. So
Wow.
if you're listening, make sure you tune into that. I have heard this for now. Well, I guess it's technically 4 years, but at least this is my second year hearing it. But I've always heard this, and it's great, and I love it every time. Go ahead.
Anyway,
Or that didn't throw you off.
no, it did not at all.
Okay.
He still has Travis Kelce, man. They brought in Sky Moore. They got pass catching backs. There's still weapons there. They brought in Juju. Not that I'm super high on him, but he's a good receiver. It's not like I think it's going to be more spread out, this offense, than we have seen previously. And I think that's good for Patrick Mahomes. I think he won't have to force feed somebody. And I think he will find Kelce a lot, but I don't think he's going to feel like, okay, I have Tyreek Hill. Let me just chuck it up to Tyreek and see what happens. Because that's what he was doing last year. He was in trouble. There were times, man.
Last year was a little less, but I'm hearing you. You
get what I'm saying? Like there were times where he got in trouble in the backfield, was running around, and just chucked it up to Tyreek. See what happens. And it led to a lot of interceptions. So I feel like he won't have that stress anymore to, okay, let me just chuck it up to the fastest guy in the field, see what happens. I think it's going to be a more not typical offense, but definitely less dependent on one receiver to make a big play.
Yeah. I am okay. So there's like 2 offenses that I'm super excited to see, and I get called out on the mocks because I have my guys, right? Like, which largely you and I spend too much time together.
Yeah, we talk a lot.
You've given me some, I've given you some. Like it's morphed. So maybe I hold true to that in mocks where I get made fun of on these mock drafts episodes by our jerk other co-hosts. Honestly, can we kick them out? I mean, whatever. This offense is exciting. I am excited to see this offense. You don't hear it often. Everybody's like, this offense is gonna suck. They have Andy Reid. They have Patrick Mahomes. And then you think that's sweet enough. And then there's Travis Kelce. You don't think these wide receivers are gonna produce? Come on. I am all about Sky Moore. That is not downplaying what I think Juju can do on this offense. That's not downplaying what I think Juju could do instead of Sky Moore. But if I was betting, I'm not betting on MVS. If I was betting, man, one of those 2 will come alive. And it's because you have this beautiful man throwing to them.
I agree.
Throwing dimes.
My concern with Juju is
beats.
He seems to be a receiver that works best out of the slot, right? And in his zone. If I'm not mistaken, most of his damage comes against zone. So having somebody so dependent on a certain defense is not great. But it's fine. We'll see. I think he's still a very good receiver. I like Sky Moore, man. I think he could be very special. Do I think he's going to replace
Different style player.
Tyreek Hill? No, I don't see that happening. But I think he can still make some plays happen. And if you're watching what they're doing with Sky Moore in the preseason, they are doing a lot of those jet sweeps. They're doing a lot of the kind of Tyreek-y plays that they're known for.
We need a drop that says that. Tyreek.
Sounds like a food.
All right, so it does. Let's go to Lamar Jackson, who's also in what I would consider tier 2. So that consists of Patty Mahomes and Lamar. Based on our consensus, this is our consensus tiers. Literally, those two were the only close ones, and Josh Allen and Justin Herbert were on an island together. We'll get to tier 3 here in a second. Lamar Jackson. So we range from 3 to 5 on his rank. I have him. I'm one of the 5ers. You're one of the 5ers. We have a couple 3s. His consensus was averaging of 4. He falls in our list as 4. So Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
I am over the Lamar disrespect.
Yeah.
The dude can throw. And maybe my like 5 doesn't speak to that volume. I think it does. Although I guess the whole crew is feeling that love as well, because we are 3 to 5. The dude can throw, and I'm sick of people saying that he can't throw. And on top of that, maybe this is what the rest of the boys are feeling. He is running like crazy. The offense hasn't necessarily changed. Yeah, sure, he doesn't have Hollywood Brown. He still has Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman in. And if you even want to get crazy like Alex and say Devin Duvernay, he has them. If he's healthy and now he's jacked, this should be another solid season. I've been picking him up in best ball quite a bit. He drops more than you would expect.
Yeah, I mean, the rushing alone, man, it's just he's different. He is
Built different.
He's different. There's no running quarterback like him. I don't care what like anyone wants to talk about. It's not the same. So he even just his legs alone puts him top 12 category. And then, he's going to throw the ball. He's got one of the best, if not the best tight end in the league. Second year high drafted wide receiver that everyone thinks is going to take a jump forward. I got roasted for kind of not being on that train with Coop, but can he make a step?
You sure did.
He can. Yeah, he could take a step. Sure. I just want to see it, but there's no reason he can't finish top 24 receivers, top 15 receivers. It's definitely in the possibility. Dude, he's just a different type of quarterback. And the people that think he's going to fall off and not be in the top 5, like you guys you're missing something, man.
Yeah, I really want to kind of end it there because I don't know how much more there is to say. The rushing upside, he is the rushing QB.
The Konami code.
The Konami code. Who we met. Shout out to Richie.
Yeah, dude. Built different.
Let's go to our next tier. And Robbie, I don't know how many of these guys you want to hit. So I'm going to give the whole tier here.
Okay.
Rounding at our QB 5. Average rank, though, is 7. I know that gets a little confusing, so I'll just go back to QB 5. Is Kyler Murray. QB 6, Russell Wilson, averaging at 7.33. Joe Burrow at QB 7, averaging 7.5. And Jalen Hurts at QB 8, averaging 7.67. So I want to talk about the one that I'm least comfortable with here, but I have him at exactly what our consensus is.
Okay.
It's funny because you're really uncomfortable as I look at this. Jesus. That's great. I do feel some type of way about Joe Burrow. I don't expect his rushing. Like we look at Dak and we saw that ankle injury and we said, okay, he'll get back to his running game this year.
Mm-hmm.
Likely, maybe likely. Why would that be likely for Joe Burrow? You have 3 weapons on the outside. You have Joe Mixon. You have Chris Evans, who can catch the ball in the backfield.
A better offensive line.
Amazing offensive line. I hope it's amazing offensive line because they added a ton to it. There's no reason for this dude to run, and I hope he doesn't. I really do. I pray. I say, I speak to the fantasy gods. I said, don't.
He won't.
It's hard to rank him higher. I almost feel like I have him ranked at upside here at 7. It's hard to rank him there. Like you're low on him. You have him at 12.
Yeah. I think I'll probably readjust it getting closer to the season. I think I was definitely ranking him at the end of his floor. Like I ranked him at his floor.
I would say that what you're saying right there is pretty accurate. I think
yeah,
range, right?
I don't get me wrong. Like the dude can sling it with the best of them. My concern, you touched on it, no rushing upside, which sure, you could say that for a lot of quarterbacks that I'm high on.
Yeah, it
Kirk
doesn't
Cousins,
mean the end of the world.
Derek Carr, Matthew Stafford, like they don't run, but they're still prolific passing quarterbacks that can get you a top 8 finish, top 5 finish, like we saw from Matthew Stafford last season. The second thing that I'm kind of worried about is looking at his
and Tom Brady,
which just doesn't go away. Just looking at his efficiency statistics from last season, dude,
it was insane.
It was so out of the norm, so out of just like what we've seen from quarterbacks in the past 10 seasons. Like, I can't anticipate that to continue. Like, how can you? And if he does it again, like, okay, dude, like you're well on your way to being a Hall of Famer and one of the best quarterbacks ever to play the game. If you can keep those efficiency numbers up.
Was it 77 or something?
Dude,
insane.
It was.
And that might be high.
Percentage. I mean, I could look it up real quick.
Why? You have all your papers right there.
I know. I got to move them around though.
I got you, Rob. I got a cell phone. I have a cell phone. You just
70.4. It was the back half of the season that was like crazy, dude. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm concerned about. Is just the efficiency that he was.
Right.
He was throwing, and it led into. That's why I'm kind of down on Jamar Chase this season. Not super down. I saw him in my top, 5 receivers, but the big playability that Jamar Chase brought to this offense, again, man, it was so out of the norm that we've seen in the past 10 seasons. Like his home run, like 50-yard touchdowns and the big playability that we saw from Jamar Chase, it was so crazy. I can't anticipate, 1, Joe Burrow to continue his efficiency, and 2, Jamar Chase to continue what he was doing, and combine those. That's kind of where I'm like, okay, I see a little regression.
Here was his last 6 games: 83% completion percentage, 60, so a little down there, 73, 68, 80, 76.
Yeah.
Like those are insane.
Yeah. It's hard to, it's just super hard to see someone continue did you just dab on us right there? To continue a 75% clip completion percentage like that, it just doesn't happen, man. Again, it's the combination of what Burrow was doing and the combination of what Jamar Chase was doing, efficiency wise, not the play itself, not like the numbers themselves. It was just like how efficient those two were. Is it because they have each other and it's just like, okay, man, they're just something different that we have never seen before? Maybe. Or maybe we're going to see a little bit of a step back for both of them. They'll come into their norm, and we'll see Joe Burrow finish around QB 8 and Jamar Chase finish around like wide receiver 5.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying is it's funny because like I look at this in the same lens as how I look at, I think I bring this up too often, Debo. Right? Like you were just so damn efficient, dude. I can't trust it. Like unless you're the greatest wide receiver / hybrid wide receiver, whatever you may want to call it, of all time.
Yeah.
I am going to hedge this bet. Yeah. And I'm going to do the same with Joe Burrow. And I'm right there with you. I'm not at 12. I wouldn't mind going to a little lower than 7 because I do think I'm at
Again,
the high
that's
side.
floor, man. That's
Yeah,
floor for me.
No, I know. But I do think we just painted out the range, and I like it. So we have Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts in this tier. Kyler Murray averages QB5 on consensus. That's the expert consensus. Jalen Hurts goes 7. We're at 8, not because of my doing, not because of Rob's doing, but probably because of Alex. And maybe even House, who is a big Hurts believer, has him at 10. Anyways, so
Hold on, say that again. Say what you just said.
House has him at 10.
Okay. What did you say about me?
I said me and you are the high Hurts.
Okay. I thought you okay. Yeah, I after our Dad Bod Squad episode, I went back in, or you know what? No, it wasn't. It was I listened to a podcast with Derek Brown, and that's kind of he was given some great info. If you guys don't listen to his podcast, go listen to it because he does excellent work. But he was giving his love on Jalen Hurts and why he's super high on him and all this sort of in-depth information. And it really opened up my eyes to what Hurts can be. And I had to readjust my rankings. I had him at like QB 15. And after just a few tweaks, after a few tweaks of kind of what I'm now seeing is more of a realistic possibility for Hurts, he ended up being my QB 4?
Yeah.
It was, I mean, a dramatic jump from just a few tweaks.
Yeah, I've banged the drum on Jalen Hurts. I have not been the only one in the fantasy world, and I have not even been the only one in this team. But so what I'm saying is I don't want to speak about him a little bit more, but who I do want to talk about in this tier, who we have as QB6, who I think I am really happy about this, actually. We have him at QB6. He is going as QB11 on expert rankings. Oh, that's ADP. Sorry. As ADP, going as QB11. Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
We're all pretty high on him. Like, I just want to talk a little bit about why we're high. I do have him at QB6. Maybe my rankings are just consensus, man. Maybe I am the consensus maker.
Yeah. He's a stud. I don't know what else to...
No. So here's my take on this. And we have Cortland Sutton. Say what you want. Rob and I love him. Mm-hmm. I think he is a great talent, and he's going to be just disgusting this year. We have Jerry Jeudy. There's a good chance that he is another great talent, and we're just going to see one of the great late duos. I don't know how much I want to go in on that, Rob, but like, there's a chance that these guys are like, Jeudy and Sutton are going to be like one of the top tier duos that we talk about.
Which is what my anticipation was for them when they brought Russ in, right? Because Russ has proven year in and year out that he can support 2 top 15 receivers over and over again. Like he does it consistently.
And like, let's like even think about this to another, I guess, the macro version, right? The macro. Mm-hmm. That division is not easy. We already talked about it.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
They're going to be throwing. Denver has a good defense, but it does not matter. And you have Oakland, Chargers, Patty. Not Kansas City. Patty. Like, it's not going to be easy for these guys. Russell will be unleashed. Pete Carroll held him back.
That's the other thing too, man, that I don't think is getting talked about enough is like Pete Carroll, great coach.
Like to run. He is a great coach. Yeah.
Not very quarterback friendly, man.
We saw way too many 180 for 3 TD games out of Russell Wilson.
Dude, so let's go over. Okay,
180 with 20 passes. let me correct that.
Since 2014, Mario. Okay. His quarterback finishes.
Oh yeah, baby. I love this. Not a top 12 the first year.
Fantasy, let's go. Fantasy points per game, okay?
Okay.
2014, third. 2015, third. 2016, 17th. 17, first. 18 was 13. 19-6, 26. Last year he was hurt.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to, if he's healthy.
We haven't even talked about the backfield.
No, we haven't. Preface.
One of the better receiving backs, and I'm not even talking about Javonte, and you guys know I love Javonte. I'm sorry, Rob. Melvin Gordon is back there. You have Melvin Gordon to catch passes for you. And Javonte, who's an up-and-coming stud. Go ahead, Rob.
And, dude, not to mention, the guy never misses games. He really doesn't, man.
First time.
It was the first time was last year. And he played through it, too. Like, the guy's a gamer. He's going to go out and ball. He might not run a ton.
He's a goofball. Cornball.
Some sort of ball.
Yeah.
But, I mean, some sort of ball. I don't know. He's just good, man. He's proven it time in, time out in an offense with no offensive line, with limited work in the red zone too, as well, which I don't think is talked about enough. Because
country.
Yeah, Broncos.
Let's ride,
dude. Whatever you want to say, man. All I'm saying is it is nuts to me that Russ Wilson is being disrespected how he is just because he got hurt last year on some fluke stuff. So,
Rob, just start taking our Twitter and just make it a Russell Wilson Stan account.
Nah, dude, I already have that.
Quit disrespecting Russell. Yeah,
I already have it with Damian Pierce. It's a Damian Pierce Stan account.
Damian Pierce. I think you're highest on Amon Ra. I think Damian people will be closer to you, but Amon, I think
now
this one.
Now,
yes,
dude,
there were some stands.
I was putting on for Damian Pierce right after. Once we did, dude, you guys were all.
Don't victory lap us right now.
Here's
Rob.
the lap.
Let us see something first.
Everybody,
you can victory lap us once something happens.
Listen.
If
when I sent my rankings into the Dad Bod squad, okay, and I had Damian Pierce at running back 24, they were destroying me.
Still will.
Okay.
I still will.
Okay.
This is not something I'm turning my back on. How rare. Do you know you're fighting history putting him at 24? This is not
meant to be broken, baby.
That is final QB rankings.
History is meant to be broken.
Thank you for the Russell talk, and we're going to our next tier. Our next tier, rounding out our top 12, is Tom Brady at number 9. You could say we're pretty low on him.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford at 10, Derek Carr at 11, Dak Prescott at 12. It is worthy to note two things. This isn't the end of the tier here. At 13, we're tied for 12 because it's the exact same average. So I shouldn't even say at 13. It's just kind of how how it sorted.
It fell.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is tied exactly where we have Dak Prescott. So they're tied for 12th, which would make still in that tier. We have at 14, because you would have to jump to 14, Rob. I don't know if you played Mario Kart, but it taught me that if you tie, you skip the next one.
Okay.
All right. So if there's a tie for second, you're fourth.
Okay.
Thank you, Mario Kart. In that tier, we have Trey Lance and Kirk Cousins as well. Trey Lance falling at 14, Kirk Cousins falling at 15. So we're not doing the Tom Brady talk because we don't want to do it. Matthew Stafford, I think the fact that we're way lower on him than Alex and Cody is primarily. I don't know if I have much of a reason other than like. I don't know, man. I don't have necessarily a huge like arguing point that I just don't find the upside sexy.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it kind of falls back to what we were talking about with Burrow. The efficiency of him and Cooper Kupp last year. It was just something you don't
Triple
see.
crown.
You don't see it. So like, is it going to happen again? It could.
Who knows?
It could. I don't see it. I don't see it happening again. Like 180 targets to a receiver. I think they'll try to people will game plan for him a little bit more. I think there might be a little bit more urgency to run in the red zone as opposed to pass, what they did last year. So I think maybe just a few numbers dip, which will cut into him just because he doesn't run.
Mm-hmm. So Derek Carr is somebody that we have talked about on this podcast quite a bit because Rob has showed him to you.
And Cody.
One that in Cody. You guys have been your Kirk Cousins Derek Carr fan club.
Yeah.
And Cody's Matthew Stafford.
Kirk's my.
Which is weird that you're not in the Matthew Stafford boat. You would think that you would be in the all three boat, but I'm not. We won't talk about that right now. Dak Prescott is somebody that we haven't talked about from a fantasy perspective quite a bit.
Yeah, you're right.
Going as QB8. Our group has him as 12. I have him at 10. Robbie has him at 7. Robbie has some love.
I do.
A little bit. That's a little wild.
Is it?
Maybe not.
As opposed to who?
At 7?
Who's more wild? You having him at what, 12?
10. Relax.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I think yours is I expect him to get this rushing work. I think that has to be it. Probably.
Yeah. I think he's going to run the ball. I think he's going to still get 600 plus attempts, which is a lot more valuable than people want to put a number on it. Like if you get over 600 passing attempts, that increases your ability to get into the top 10 way easier, man. There's only a few people that will throw that ball that much, and he's one of them.
Yeah, so you have no concerns about the lack of weapons that he's throwing to this year. We lost Amari Cooper. We lost Cedric the Stud Wilson.
I did like Cedric. I was upset when they lost him.
Cedric has some highlights. So
dude,
I was being sarcastic about calling him the stud, but he does have some weird highlights.
I don't think you understand how high I would have had Cedric Wilson if he was on this offense.
No, come on, Rob.
Okay.
Too much. You come out too strong.
I mean, it's a fantasy anyways, so.
That was good, dude. That was a nice play on word. I lost my thought.
I was wondering what you were doing over there.
Well, House just made fun of me because I said Oakland again, which I've probably done multiple times. So Las Vegas.
I'm trying to pull up his fantasy finishes.
It just seems hard to have him ranked here when there's no Amari Cooper, no Cedric Wilson, no Blake Jarwin either.
Mm-hmm. Is what it is. They'll get by. They'll get by. They got CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott. Like, yeah, I'm fine with it. Is he as good of a passer as Aaron Rodgers? No. Does he have as many weapons, if not more? Yes. And does he have a rushing upside? Yes. Like, that's why I have him tiered where he's at, because I think, again, is he going to rush the ball 100 times? No, he's not going to do that. He's going to get enough work just because of when nothing's open downfield, he will take off. Like we've seen it. Like, that's good. That's good for fantasy.
I have him at 10. So like we're arguing three different spots.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I don't have some concerns.
Sure.
You gotta really bank on CD as a number 1.
Yep.
You have to hope that Tolbert fills in a wide receiver 2 spot till Gallup's back / permanent. We still don't know that situation. We're hoping that Zeke is what do you want to say here? Less of a shell of himself, because last year that's what he was. And everyone's saying it was an injury. And then we're hoping that Tony Pollard steps up a little bit more in the receiving work. So like, there's a lot of things to be banking on in this offense.
Yeah. I mean, you know, my love again, dude, I can't be so high on CeeDee Lamb, Schultz, and Tony Pollard and not be high on Dak Prescott. Right?
I do love my boy Schultz.
Dude, I'm high on all 3 of them. I think they're all going to be great in this offense. Yeah. And the more I'm revisiting the whole Zeke thing, dude, yeah, he was good until he got that knee injury. He was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the touches concern me on Zeke 100%. but
Let's
he can be fine.
talk about our last one here, because you're all talk about the rushing game, and I think I'm probably sneaking you with this one a little bit.
Sure.
Trey Lance, and I don't want to go too crazy here, Rob, like we shouldn't, because he's the most talked about quarterback in the league this year.
Yeah, I think
You're the second lowest out of our group at 15.
which I'm gonna revisit 100%. Again,
That's
I think
a cop out.
no, I think that's me putting his statistics at the floor.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
Again, this is one of the guys that after listening to Derek Brown, talking to a lot of the guys the other week, I'm low on him. I know it, and I'm going to revisit it, and it's his rushing upside is special, and if he can find even some decent numbers in the pass game, he'll be a top 12.
I put him to 12 recently, so I have no room to talk, but it's something that you couldn't see, so
it took me a while to kind of kick back on it. It took me a while to figure out how little he needs to do in the pass game to be a top 12.
Yeah. It's something that, again, the whole world has talked about it a lot, but like specifically within our little bubble, we have talked quite a bit about how that floor is so high. It's so high because he's going to be running, and he's as Rob Norton says, insulated within a Shanahan offense, which is very true. So,
and there's one guy that I want to bring up to you, and then we can kind of call it a day. I've been telling you, man, ever since last week.
This one.
I am bringing Justin.
The outro playing. I was like, get us out of here.
I am bringing up Justin Fields in my rankings. We've talked about it this entire episode. I can't justify myself being so high on Jalen Hurts, bringing Trey Lance up into my top 12, and keeping Justin Fields where I have him. I understand how bad he was in the pass game. I get it. But the last 4 games that he played last year, full games, he was top 10. Every weekend he had a top 3 performance without passing the ball that well. So if he continues that, he's going to be a top 12 quarterback.
No way. I can't see where this happens, right? Like, I can see he runs the ball. He does not run like Jalen Hurts. He does not run like Lamar Jackson. I think
Why do you say he doesn't run like Jalen Hurts?
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
When at OSU, we saw that with Braxton Miller. We saw that with
he had like a 200 rushing yard game last year.
It doesn't. Did he?
Like 150?
Oh, so you just rounding up?
I'll pull it up. Go ahead and keep talking.
But so what I'm saying is like, yes, I hope this coach will incorporate some more RPOs and some more running options for him. But like, are we to say that like this offense really excites us, that this is a guy that we want? Daniel Jones runs the ball. Are you grabbing Daniel Jones?
Yeah, it's completely different.
Why?
It is.
Why is it different?
Unless Dayball gimmicks 100 rushing attempts for him, like I think's gonna.
We haven't seen it with Fields.
It's a different coaching staff this year, man. Coop again.
So is New York.
Let's talk about Coop again. Yeah, is Dayball gonna do that? I don't know. I don't see 100, but I can see it in Chicago.
But you're confident that he's gonna do this in Chicago? That doesn't make sense to me. I want it to be there. I want that to happen, but we didn't see it at all last year. And the fact is, like, we've seen Daniel Jones run more than Justin Fields.
Why are you saying we didn't see it last year? I just gave you the numbers.
We saw 72 attempts.
Again, the last 4 games.
He's 103 was his max rushing yards.
Again, the last 4 weeks that he played, he was top 10 every week, and he had a top 5 finish.
There's no way.
What are you saying? No way.
Because he went 4 for 11 in one of those games. There's not a chance that it was
the last 4 games that he finished the game. that he played the entire game.
Oh, so we're doing that then.
Yeah, he got hurt halfway through the game.
So okay, so week 11 is
He
void.
came out the first drive of the second half.
I'm asking, week 11 is void.
Correct.
So we're looking at weeks.
He got hurt. Got hurt.
So we're really kind of cherry picking weeks 8, 9, 13, and 14, correct?
Correct. Yeah, the last 4 games that he played the entire game.
You didn't say that before.
Yes, I did.
You didn't say the entire game.
Yes, I did.
Whatever, dude. Okay, so
I mean, he proved it again. Small sample, 4 games. Small sample. I get it, but he was coming into a zone and then he got hurt. That sucks. And
dude, you said top 10?
Top 10 every week
of each of those weeks.
He was 3rd, 9th, 6th, or is that 8? 8. So 3rd, 9th, 8th, and 10th.
He snuck that 10th real late. Real tied with Patty Mahomes.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. But that doesn't excite me necessarily because he missed.
Not excite you?
Because he missed 5 out of the last 9.
He's playing with broken ribs.
Am I supposed to be excited about this? And also, there's a game that we just decided to take away from it. We're like, okay, here's the last 4 full games that he played. If we go to last 5 full games he played, he had 184 yards and 3 interceptions. Like, come on.
Dude got hurt.
Not in that game. Not the game that I just told you.
Would he have been a top 10 that week? Would he have been top 10 that week? Probably not, but would he have been top 15 maybe? What if he busted an 80-yard rush? Like, yeah, he could have been a top 10.
San Fran, he got lucky with his rushing game because that carried him that game because he went 19 for 27. Not bad. 175, 1 TD, 1.
Dude, sure, I understand that. I get it. He also had maybe the worst head coach ever.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
Like, I want to see, like,
I guess I'm just saying is like, you talking about top 12 is
if everything works out. That's like, everything works out. And
you can say that about any QB.
Can you? I don't think so. Can you say that about Sam Darnold? Can you say that about Davis Mills? Can you say that about...
Come on, Rob. Let's not get carried away. Why are you going to talk about Sam Darnold? He's not even starting.
Baker Mayfield?
I mean, there's a world where he finishes top 12.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. I think it's in the realm of possibility for Justin. We were talking, like, again.
If you're asking me, like, who has a higher percentage, I would say Justin easily.
If we had this conversation last season about Jalen Hurts preseason, people would be calling you crazy if you were like, Jalen Hurts is going to be top 12 this year. People would have been calling you crazy.
Ryan Tannehill finished top 12, so I guess anything is possible, but just when you have a guy that's like missing multiple games at the end of the season and you're going to try to pull out these stats, and then you're also going to say, okay, this coach is going to run him more. And then you're also going to say, oh yeah, we have the receiving weapons of Byron Pringle, 25-year-old Velus Jones. We have N'Keal Harry now. Like, I like Darnell Mooney, and something that we said on the pre-show is like Darnell Mooney actually reminds me a lot to Allen Robinson in the sense of like, he's great. He will never be amazing because of the QB play until then. Hence our love for Allen Robinson.
Unless he takes a step forward, sure. Better play calling.
Yeah, like, I get your point. I get every guess that we had. It's just a hard pill for me to swallow right now. It makes sense. Like, if you're in on one, you should be in all in on.
I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
We kind of do this with the running backs, right? Like the pass catching backs. I love Travis Etienne, but I'm like kind of wishy-washy on CMC.
Again, dude, how can you
be like nervous?
How can you? I don't want to say justify, but how can you be so high on Trey Lance, but say Jalen Hurts is like, okay, you're going to be a top 25 quarterback?
Dude, you can't tell me that like what Chicago is doing right now doesn't scream to you tank, and also we might bench our QB.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't see a bench.
What did they just do? What did the GM do? Like, Alex's whole argument against Jalen Hurts is that he gets benched. I think it's the only reasonable argument to take if you're going to keep this dude out of your
Which I said is crazy.
But it's kind of fair. Like if Jalen Hurts really sucks and they're like built ready to go, like they just need a QB, they have Gardner Minshew waiting. Now I don't even know who Chicago's backup is. It's probably something like Long Neck, right?
See, Trevor Simeon.
Is it Simeon? It's not
believe
Long
so.
Neck.
I believe it's Trevor Simeon.
Mike Glennon.
Yeah, no, I think it's Trevor Simeon.
So like, there's not much there. But man, dude, does this not have that weird feeling of like, yeah, we're gonna tank and then we're gonna take a QB 2020?
Let me also preface this, dude. Like the whole offense last year was built for Andy Dalton, not for Justin Fields.
And he didn't even adjust.
That's what I'm trying to say, dude.
I agree with you. That's not my point though. Like this is not a. I don't think the coaching is gonna get better.
I get that, but do I think he's going to have 9 passing touchdowns and more interceptions than he does passing touchdowns? No, I don't see that happening again because they have a full offseason to build an offense around this quarterback. Let him get comfortable in this offense in a full offseason with the ones because he never did that last season.
Getting more than 20 passing TDs. And then break it down.
I said last week, I haven't projected these numbers out, and I want to do it and see where it falls in my rankings. I said last week I can see him with 18 touchdowns, 11 picks, and like 80 to 100 rushes.
Okay. This is in the range, but I don't think that's top 12. It definitely isn't.
Again, that's like me. That's
you
his
said ceiling. You said ceiling.
That's his my mid projection. I think that's gonna put him in like top 15.
I don't know if it will, but I'm excited to see where that falls. I want to hear from you what happened. 18 and 11 is and like I think that's conservative, right? Like if he takes a step forward, that's you're hoping. Yeah. You're not seeing. You're hoping, and maybe slightly seeing.
I don't
last 4 games.
I don't think he can be worse than he was passing wise last season.
Yeah,
I see I don't want to say like big jump, but I see a good jump for him passing wise because there's going to be an offense built around him. There's going to be play calling that's going to be better suited for his talents than there was last season. Don't do it just because he actually has a head coach that's going to maybe like try to put him in position to be better than what Matt Nagy did last year. Like Matt Nagy was thrown to the wolf. Dude. That was crazy.
You get an outro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear it. I could talk about this all day.
I know. I wanted to test out how it felt like to be like if you're on the Oscar stage getting outroed. Did you love it?
I'd keep talking.
If you aren't already, subscribe on YouTube, Dad Bod Fantasy Squad. At Dad Bod.
Go get Justin Fields, people. Go get Justin Fields.
Twitch. We're streaming there every time, and it posts the videos there as well, just like YouTube. And we're posting to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Robbie, what's the last one?
I don't know. All the major platforms. I always say all the major platforms.
You don't have to tell us. For
Good
myself,
night, people.
for Fields Lover, peace.